We are complex beings. There's so much to our internal psyche, into our heart space, into our expression of self, our mentality. These are all frameworks within inside of us that vibrate at different frequencies. You usually tune to what is around you and attach to those things. That is you becoming your environment. And when you learn how to hold your own frequency regardless of others, it is similar to you being able to stand in a crowd and everyone look at you weird because you have flowers in your hair, and you're very grateful that you have flowers in your hair. You're like, yeah, I put them there. And the people around you look at you like you put flowers in your hair is like a dirty person who walks through flowers and doesn't take them out of their hair. And your mentality is, I picked them cleanly. I dusted them off of any type of bugs, and I put them in my hair because I thought it looked beautiful. They're two different civilizations. They're two different trains of thought, different attributes and behaviors. One is a working mentality of someone who just does stuff, and when you have to be in the bushes, then you are someone who does those things and you do dirty work. And so anytime you have any piece of grass or flowers around you, that's dirty. And then you have a different mentality that flowers are beautiful. And when you have clean flowers in your hair, it makes you more beautiful. It is the higher ranking aspects of life to be able to order cut flowers and put them in your hair or in your house. To have live flowers in your house is a luxury. And some people would throw away the live flowers in the house because that's dirty, that's outside. Outside stays outside. It depends what civilization you're in, and there are many other trains of thought and behaviors in this world. But as I have placed myself into very, very different civilizations, I have these comparisons that I've lived out and felt and looked at life extremely differently from both of them. Embodying them and living them out, you truly understand and adhere to the value systems. To be in a place where luxury is what you're looking towards, and everything is very wonderful and beautiful, and you do not have a care in the world about 10 people judging you around you. Whereas the people that are 10 are only 10 together because they only feel comfortable as 10. Feel comfortable as 3. They cannot go anywhere without someone else. These are lower frameworks of mentality because they cannot come up with their own thoughts and behaviors. It is a lower civilization. They take on what the group takes on, what the community takes on, because they cannot form their own thoughts, behaviors, or opinions. It is simply just a lower civilization. Those who form their own reality, form their own thoughts about life, and stick within them regardless of the pressures around them, are higher civilizations. They're comfortable in who they are. They can say the words that they desire to say, regardless of what they are very aware of people around them thinking, acting, knowing, and believing, based upon popular opinion. To be authentically yourself is to be this way. To be authentically you says, I like flowers in my hair, regardless of how everyone else feels. Whether they feel that that's not professional, or they feel that that is something that only dirty people do, or that is only something people who are not serious about life do and say. Like I said, there are many different thoughts and behaviors, and you'll pick up on them if you are sensitive enough to know. But for the most part, each and every person has an ability to know what they say, do, act, and behave as if it is coming against their community. Now, the more single we live in all of society, the more these things do not matter. As long as you are adhering by the general government structure of laws and regulations, you can really do whatever you want. And nobody else can tell you that you're doing this incorrectly, or you're wearing the wrong shoes, or you look too like this, or you look too much like that. The less government structure and the less structure there is in the place that you are, the more that you will tune to the likes and wants and cares of the community around you. Because it will be how you stay alive. It is the survival that is deep within us to want the opinions of those around us, because that is at the core what we have required to live. And these places that are in lower mentalities and lower civilizations, they require others to help them formulate life, help them figure out what they should believe in. They will look to others and the general census of others. They're just going to believe that because that attaches them to a network of people which will always be there. So when you make these choices to be that of the general population, it will change as the general population's mentalities and thoughts and behaviors change. The more that you attached to these things, the more those people will have a pull and strain on you. So if you are a part of a community and they no longer like daisies, you literally cannot like daisies even if you loved them before. But if you love daisies more than you love what the community gives to you, then you will learn to separate yourself from that, and you will find a group that likes daisies. And when you hop from group to group and place to place, culture to culture, country to country, mentality to mentality, you get to an understanding and knowing that you will never be satisfied with these networks of mentalities, networks of behaviors, because they will always be a cesspool of people's general thoughts and opinions based upon the pressures that life gives them. To truly be authentic and to be in yourself, you decide your own way with everything. If you don't want to smile and that is okay with you because you are content inside, then you do not need to smile. But if you are in a culture and community that everywhere you go, everyone smiles and that's just how it is, you will make people feel uncomfortable. And you have to be okay with the fact that people will actually be very angry at you if you do not smile at them in return. And you do not say good morning. Because that is how everyone operates, and why are you not joining in on the quote-unquote fun, the quote-unquote morning routine? But when you do this, you give energy, and a person like myself does not give energy to just a person walking by. I do not give acceptance or grandeur to anyone who is pleading for it, begging for it, or asking me to be a part of their system. I choose very, very intentionally all of my thoughts, behaviors, and actions based upon my authenticity, based upon what I know is best for me in the longest term of existence. I have my ways and you have your ways. But most people don't really have their own ways, and this is why different civilizations exist everywhere we are. Different cultures mash together in different types of countries, and they come against one another. You on your road, this next person's on their road. The higher your civilization is, the more you can withstand other types of cultures, behaviors, actions, and people around you. This is why Western world is actually a higher civilization, because it is the inhabitant and the mentalities that each person sits within their own cultures, their own behaviors. You can literally have 10 people who are sitting in one restaurant in one corner, and they all believe completely different things, and none of them need a second. Still, majority of places and peoples want someone else at least with them. But it is always the ones who are completely by themselves, doing life completely in their own thoughts, behaviors, actions, that is truly the most powerful and the highest civilization. This is what all of industry is built for. Is built for us moving towards an individual life for each and every person. Because when the individual expresses itself in its purest and most powerful form of choosing each and everything for themselves, the satisfaction of life is at the highest. It is what you like is what you bring towards yourself, not just what is available, not just, well, that will do. It does not add satisfaction to life. It does not add wealth and value. It adds oppression and submission. These are older civilizations that drag people and make them feel very depressed. It makes them feel very unauthentic. It is the robot behaviors, because you have to do 10 things in order to express one thing, because these networks that you belong to make you do so many different things to belong to this network that you end up getting rid of things that you've truly loved in your life. Like, you like the daffodils, but that specific group does not like them anymore. And this is where you have to gain your own courage and your own strength to walk out of those mentalities, walk out of those behaviors, walk out of just being accepted by a set group of people, and you do things that you never really liked, and it kind of went past your boundaries. But they accepted you, and no one else did. But at what cost? This is why you become a lower level of living, and you will see that in every area of your life. Your food will not satisfy you. Your work will not give you the grandeur that it once did. The places that you place yourself in, the conversations and the people, it will all just be, why am I doing this? There will be so many questions that, why do I exist? What is life? What is all of these things? And it is literally the fact that you are a lower civilization than you once were. You were meant to be authentic in yourself. You were meant to be an individual. Think for yourself, act for yourself, be for yourself, and live in the pleasure of yourself. And it is not that you are to be disregarding of others. It is that you are to be fully blossomed in your own experience so that you may add to the garden that is existence of all of us as we are. That we are all our own different blossoming experience. And that we each are on each other's own roads, our own mountains, and we are each very happy with this. There is no need to attach to the other or pull and do all of these things because we're not one civilization. On this earth, we are so many different levels of civilization, and then when you are in higher civilization countries, you have many different ones just in one restaurant. Never mind walking outside. Never mind the community that you live in. Never mind the places that you went to school with. So the more that we can continually uplift the individual, the more that all of the world and all of the earth can have a greater satisfaction. Because each person gets to express themselves as who they are, not as a part of anything. This is where living in the human experience is at its epitome. You will get to be authentically the most powerful existence that you are. Each and everything pleases you. Every item you have in your life, you chose it because you wanted it and it excited you, or it was pleasurable to you, or it was actually fully just utilitarian because that's all that you wanted. It is all of the elements of what you desire life to express itself as, and every part of that is exciting to you. From how you wake up in the morning, how you speak, how you dress yourself, who you have conversations with, and who you do not have conversations with. You are so satisfied with every aspect of your own existence. To be in the highest civilization requires you to have a totally different mindset. You are very much comfortable being your own self and dealing with the pressures of every other civilization that wants you to wash yourself out and be like them. Think like us. Walk like us. We have the answers. But we never have the answers. It is only I that has the answers. And for you to go in any other direction than the purest form of the depths of your own existence, which transcribes into a soul, and from a soul it transcribes into this personality that you have within inside of your human being that continues to evolve. How much of you do you let through in your life? When you realize that the satisfaction level is not as where you want it, this is when you require a transformation of fate. It is highly likely that at the soul level, you cannot allow certain things through because you are in certain communities that do not allow that have mentally blocked it out from your very own awareness. You cannot actually look at those things because of the communities you're in, because of the family that you grew up in. Those things don't exist to those people. This is why transformation of fate with me is so powerful, because I can see all of those things. My tuning is to see all of that. What are the parts of you that you have blocked off because of your desire to become a part of community, to become part of a certain mentality, to become a part of a certain expression group, to become a part of a certain genre or gender? Did you actually become something you never were in the first place? This is so powerful. You can do anything with your life, but when you realize there's no satisfaction, you went wrong somewhere. And it's where do you change it? This is where transformation of faith is going to give you back those pieces of yourself that you may have lost literally at birth by being born into a family that will not accept magical fantasy because they are so strictly religious. They burn out anything that is beautiful and replace it with the hard rod of judgment. But you were meant to be magical. You were meant to be fantasizable. You were meant to be so enmeshed with life's gorgeous existence, which is not available in religion. It's not available in certain families. It's not available for people who are immersed in their own trauma. To be beautiful, to be the existence that is sparkling, to find creation in every day, to find the beauty in existence, is often things that were left behind and considered childish, but this is the very essence of life. To draw back all of these layers can take you an entire lifetime to learn how to recognize what I am a professional at recognizing within inside of you. I can recognize it anywhere at any time. And my choice is to only recognize these things inside of you when you commit completely to doing the full transformation process. So that you don't just get a taste of life again and feel good about tasting it because I'm in your presence. And you feel so good about life that you don't recognize it was me who showed you. Because that's what I am, that's what I've tuned to, and my very presence makes you live your life better. I've seen it my whole life, and I've seen it in the transformation most potently. Because once someone truly commits, not only do they start to see it for themselves, but they recognize it for themselves because they're committed to owning themselves instead of just seeing it, instead of just experiencing it. Because when I recognize it, I project that beauty onto you that you will receive if you're just someone who receives things from other people. But when you truly commit to the transformation, you're choosing to recognize the things that I recognize so that you can be your own projection of yourself instead of just experiencing me noticing you, me showing you how wonderful you are. From the deepest parts of who I am, I project this onto you. You feel absolutely on top of the world. I always make people feel great around me. If they were stuck somewhere and they're in my presence, they start to see everything. It's beautiful. Because I have such a potent and strong and powerful energy. But it does not stay with you unless you transform. Because I move on. I go where I want to go and do what I want to do with my life. Life normally looks very difficult and very dull after I've left someone's life because they no longer can see those beautiful things. They don't have the sight. They just received the projection. They just received the value that I place on life itself and the most exuberant aspects of each and every individual. I always see the most intricate, fabulous, magical, beautiful essence of each and every soul. I show you how to find that within yourself and value it. Actually value it in your life. Make room for it, because it gives you so much more to create opulence in your existence. Much higher than just satisfaction. Life becomes so beautiful each and every day. I show you how to see it and maintain it. Things you may have never thought could exist, they do, and you just don't know how to recognize it. But it happens to be that when someone's in my presence, they see all of these things because I project it so powerfully. It is a very valuable investment in yourself to recognize these things that literally add sparkle to everything. You see deeper in every aspect of life. There's only one way to have a conversation with me that upholds my value and walks you towards the process of transformation of fate. And that's on my website, ENYELAH.com. Having this conversation really does reveal some of the most beautiful things life has to offer. And as well, parts of yourself that you truly admire about yourself. It is a place where you will have a fork in the road opportunity, because these things will be revealed to you. You will have an opportunity to learn how to continue to have them and maintain them. Or you will see that they exist and you will do what you've always done. And you will bury them back underneath again because of whatever mentalities and systems you've built on top of that. Having a conversation with me will give you the opportunity to choose what you want for your life. That only happens through membership. Once you step through membership, we will have that conversation. It'll be such a beautiful experience. And you will get to choose what type of life you will have from there forward. It's beautiful, powerful, very powerful decision. Learning about the intricacies of life and how you can truly experience a beautiful sensation in every moment and in every day. Life really can be for you, because of you, for the pleasure of yourself, without having to indulge in anything other than just sitting in your own presence, walking your own beautiful fate. Life was meant for the existence to be experienced in its fullness. Are you ready to be yourself? Free in all the ways that creates the magic that is the depth and the sight to see, hear, know, and believe in all that you are.